In the journey of life, especially for those embarking on a path of spiritual seeking or awakening, the power of silence often unveils truths deeper than any words could express. Imagine, if you will, a simple everyday scenario. Two friends meeting after a long time. They start to converse, filling each moment with words, perhaps out of a nervous desire to connect. But as the conversation progresses, a magical moment arises when both fall into a comfortable silence. It's in this silence that they truly feel the depth of their bond, a connection that words could only attempt to sketch. This silence, dear friend, is not mere absence of sound, it's a profound presence. It's a space where the soul speaks without words, where understanding deepens, and where the essence of being is felt. This principle is not new, but echoed across time by wise souls and ancient texts. The Bible, for instance, speaks of silence in Psalms. Be still and know that I am God. Here, stillness is not inaction, but an active engagement with the divine, a surrender to a wisdom beyond words. Philosophers and mystics, from the contemplative practices of Buddhism to the reflective musings of Socrates, who famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing," invite us into a space of silence. Socrates' invitation is not to ignorance but to a recognition that true understanding comes from a place deeper than words. In daily life, embracing silence over speech can transform relationships and inner well-being. Consider a disagreement between loved ones. Often, our urge is to fill the space with arguments, to convince and to be heard. Yet, how often does a gentle silence, a moment of listening and being present, dissolve barriers more effectively than any words could? Silence here becomes a bridge, a healer. Silence also invites us to a deeper introspection, a pause in the relentless narrative of our thoughts. In this pause we find clarity, insights that were obscured by the constant noise of our inner and outer worlds. It's a space where we can encounter our true selves, beyond the roles and identities constructed by society and our minds. To embrace silence is not to shun conversation or retreat from the world, but to find a balance. It's to recognize that in the stillness between words, there's a profound message, a connection to a wisdom that transcends the transient and touches the eternal. Let us then cherish silence as a sacred companion on our spiritual journey, a guide leading us not away from the world, but deeper into its heart, and in doing so, closer to our own essence. In the embrace of silence, we find not emptiness, but fullness, not absence, but presence, a presence that illuminates, heals, and transforms.